Hey guys, Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. We are working on my 100 days challenge of Tina's Mass Makes, and today is another version of an envelope booklet. Yeah. So I got a bunch of envelopes here. This is a good project to use those like flimsy kind of envelopes for, and you'll see why when we get started. But I also have some nicer ones. These are stationary. I kind of like the curved. Anyway, so we are going to turn these into little booklets. You can make these any size you want. I mean, even if you had, like, say you're making a tiny journal and you want to make one this size. I mean, cute, right? So we can make these any size we want. They're great when you're making the little ones. They're great for using cutoffs and whatnot. I'm going to pull some of my bigger ones out from the bottom down here that are like the flimsy kind of thing. And I'm not saying that we're going to get all of these covered because I didn't print. I printed some digital stuff. Okay, so I have a mix of things. Here's this is one of Tina's kits. She's got one called Beach Huts, Spring Beach Huts. I don't know, something about beach huts. This is also one of hers. This is from Memory Lane, I think. And then this one was from one of her Christmas freebies. So, yeah, we're just going to get started on covering these envelopes. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to figure out, where you want to put the paper. So say maybe I put it like that. And basically all you're going to do is glue. Now, again, we're going to try and do it without putting any glue on the inside of the envelope. So you'll glue all the areas like this around the opening. And of course, when you're making stuff like this with envelopes, that always gives you the option for like a side pocket kind of a deal. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. Just like that. Okay, and then we need to cover this flap. Stop that. I have a little glue gremlin over here. If you're like looking at my table and wondering what that is, I don't want to pull it up because it'll make a sticky spot. It's glue. I left my bottle laying on its side overnight. And it oozes. When it oozes glue, it oozes like that. And it's got bubbles in it. So like I'll take one of these glue balls upstairs and my kids will oh no, don't do that. My kids will squeeze it and pop the bubbles. Like squeeze it and it crackles in your hand because it's got air bubbles in it. Yeah. But I don't want to take it off there because some of the glue on the bottom is still wet. And if I peel it off of there, then I'm going to have wet glue on my mat. So I'll just give it some more time to dry and then I'll pull it off. Oh, the messes we make when we're crafting. Okay, let me just cut this off of here. This is another one of those relatively simple mass makes that is time consuming in its nature. And what I mean by that is you're covering a lot of surfaces, you're doing a lot of, manipulating of stuff, and do I want the same paper on there? This won't fit. Although it might be fun to cut that out and stick it on here. I don't know. We'll see. All right, that's not going to fit. So what I need is something for the flap. And while I could pull one of the other papers I did, I don't necessarily know that any of them would go. So I have scraps sitting over here to the side that we just used. And let's see if any of those might go. Okay, I want to try something. I know these are creepy, but I'm hoping that I can use just a bit of the part that isn't. Okay, I can get that, or I can go like this. Makes the rows upside down. Well, I could cut it off and do it the other way. But the area is wide enough. Okay, so the question is, do we like the color, or do I like this color with it? I think I like this color better. I don't know if I have an area wide enough with this one. Wide enough and tall enough? Yeah, maybe this area down here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off of here just so that I can get to it easier. Please tell me I didn't cut that too shallow. No, I got it. Okay. I was going to be upset. But I didn't really measure. I just kind of eyeballed, and I was going to be a little upset. Okay, so then we'll put this on here. Like that. And I feel like those colors go okay, and then of course it gets decorated, and you can't necessarily tell that it came from anything creepy. Just in my head, I know that it did, so. Okay, and we're going to cover this piece. Okay, and put that right down there like that. Now, if your piece is big enough, I mean, I'm hoping for the best here on size, so I'm not going to try and do it, but if your piece is big enough, you could fold over the back. Well, no, you can't, because the back's going to show. Depending on how you cover the back's going to show, so don't do that. You need it to stay on its own side. Now, if you're worried about moisture activating these, you can put some tape over them. I've done that before, just to keep them from being, you know, in a humid environment or whatever, just so that they don't get sticky. I mean, mine aren't sticky now, and I'm not in a humid environment, but who knows? All right, so we're going to cut this. Of course, I've made it harder to cut because I covered up the edge, but there we go. Nope, I'm cutting on the edge of the tape and not the edge of the envelope. See? Okay, so that's that. And then basically what you're going to do is you'll fold your envelope in half like this. And I suppose you could fold it the other way. I mean, and you've got a little book or a booklet with pockets on the outside. Okay, now depending on how you use it, if you're going to put pages in yours, you probably don't need to glue this. But if you're not going to put pages in yours, because she showed just covering these with journaling space or inking them and, you know, leaving it as an empty booklet or putting another pocket in there or whatever, then you might want to glue that center. Okay, but that's basically what we're going for. And you end up with a pocket here from the envelope flap and a pocket here from the envelope flap. Okay, sorry, I had to take my sweater off. It's a little warm. All right, let's get these scraps out of the way and we'll cover another one. I'm going to cover these flimsy ones because I think this is a good use of them. All right, I'm going to have all my papers over here to the side. I'm going to do the beach huts. Let's see. Now, your problem will be is if what you want for your envelope is up here somewhere. Like the paper is semi-directional. because of the little banners that she put on here that are so cute. And let me see. I think I want something like that. All right. I suppose you can glue down whatever you want, because what you're going to put the glue on, the idea is just to be able to see what I'm gluing. We're going to take our chances, guys. I'm going to kind of do it blind, because I don't want to waste too much time just dawdling about. I went and put my sweater away because I was a little warm. With the heat going, and my glue has my glue's being temperamental. Oops. Try again. There she is. All right. So I told you I was teaching a logic and critical thinking class to kids. It's not like traditional logic. It's not anything where somebody who actually teaches real logic to college students and high school kids is going to look at it and go, oh yeah, she's doing a good job. No, it's like we're doing, I want to say we're doing like puzzles and games and stuff. So it's like kids logic. Drawing conclude. I just want them to think. You know what I mean? So we are doing a lot of logical thinking, like critical thinking games, and the kinds of questions that make you think. So, I mean, and it's kids, remember, so it's elementary school kids. One of the questions I asked them so that they could ponder it, and then we went around the little group answering to see what everybody said. Some groups had more answers than others. It was funny. I had some groups that like really got into the question at the end, and then I had others that were like, they answered their one that I asked them to answer, and then they were like, nobody had any more to volunteer. It was kind of funny. All right, let's see. I don't want to interfere with this fold down here, so. And since this is lifting away, I might cut underneath the envelope a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense. Can you see how I'm... So yeah, the question ended up being for that week's class was, if animals could talk, what would you ask them? And they all had to come up with something interesting to ask an animal. And I told them, I said, it could be animals in general, or you can pick an animal and ask a question. You know. But it was funny because we have 4 periods, so I had to teach this class for 4 groups. And the way the groups got divided up this particular week, all of the little guys were in one group at the end of the day. So it was like trying to do what I had been doing all day didn't work with them. So I had to like rethink my thinking. Okay. I'm wondering if I could then use this on here. Yeah, I think it'll work on here. Okay. So, yeah, so it was funny. But they all had fun answers to that question. And the little guys were the ones that I said, you know, it doesn't have to be all animals. Sorry, guys, I have my coffee over there to the side. It's earlier in the morning than I normally get down here. It is not early in the morning. It's just earlier than I normally get down here. And I have a list of things I have to do today, and they're kind of driving me nuts. So, I mean, they're in my head. I don't know if you saw the one video I did where I talked about how my brain gets overwhelmed if I've got a list of things to do and I don't know where to start. Well, that's where I am today, except I have to get the things done. I think I'm going to start trying something I read, that if you write yourself a list of things to do, like you make your decisions and you write yourself a list of things to do, like maybe when you're in a relaxed environment, like maybe at night before I go to bed and I'm laying there and there's no pressure for me to get anything done because I'm just going to bed, and I think about it and I say, okay, this is what I want to work on tomorrow, and I write a list of things to accomplish the next day. They say that you are almost 75% more likely to get things accomplished if you write them down as goals. So I don't know. I guess maybe I could understand it from the standpoint that it focuses you. So when you're looking at your list, it's like you're not staring at your house going, okay, what do I do next? When you've got a whole list of things that you could get done. You're looking, oh man, up too high. That's okay. We can decorate it. Okay, that's really cute. I like it. So we're going to fold it in half. She had some really big envelopes. I will say this. I went into Hobby Lobby to get those crates like I was mentioning yesterday. They're to go in my pantry at the bottom under the last shelf. Why is that so? Oh, there's a lot of paper, I guess, bulked up there. Maybe if I cut that off. There's like where the pieces of the envelope overlap. It's bulking up and not folding. It's weird. Anyway, it was causing it to fold crooked because it wouldn't fold right there. Anyway, so I went and got those crates at Hobby Lobby so I could get started on organizing. So that's one of the things on my list. Okay. I know I had a train of thought there and then the envelope threw me and now I don't remember what the train of thought was. So yeah, that happens to me a lot. Okay. Go with it. I do. All right. I'm going to try and use this guy. I'll put it on here like this. I kind of want that. It's like the only flower on here. Or flower-ish looking thing. So I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll do that. We're going to do it where we glue along the top edge again and then cut, which is difficult because cutting along this edge where the flap is was hard. I'm just trying to make things more difficult for myself. It's more fun that way, right? I know, and you guys are all probably sitting there going, your train of thought, you were in the middle of something, go back. And I don't remember. I'm telling you guys, I find these gaps in my memory sometimes. Or like something will distract me and that memory will erase until like I'll be hours later tonight. I'll go, oh, this is what I was talking about and I forgot to tell him this. That's what'll happen with that. But what are you going to do? The scary thing about it is not to get too deep or into anything real, like, I don't know, philosophical or anything, but on my mom's side of the family, dementia and Alzheimer's are a thing. So I'm like, whenever I get forgetful about something, I'm like, oh, geez. It's kind of scary. I just kind of get like, oh, no. Listen, glue. So, yeah. I actually went into Hobby. I will say this that I forget too is, or I forgot also, is I went into Hobby Lobby yesterday and I bought some, like, you know me guys, I love polka dots. Well, I found this black and white polka dotted paper and some other pattern paper that I would like to go with it. All of it was black and white. My intention was to make those quadruple pockets that we made yesterday out of that. But then I thought, like I did 3 different steps with that. I was going to print stuff for it. And then when I got down here, I remembered, oh wait, I selected double-sided paper for it. Totally forgot about all the polka dot paper I had bought. So yeah. Yesterday was a day, guys. Can I just say? I just wanted so bad to get down here and get that video done that I wasn't paying any attention. That's really pretty. I like the way that turned out. Okay. This is big enough. This might be one where I just do the same again. Not that. Maybe the blue, though. Let's try that and see how that looks. So anyway, one of the things I have set to do is I have to go upstairs and I have to clean and organize my kitchen. I do have to go and prepare my class for next week. I don't want to be doing it Monday night. Although, I mean, I got it done and the first day was a success, but I would rather not be like waiting until Monday night to get my class done. Today I have to go and meet with one of the other ladies. She doesn't have a color printer. So I told her that any pages that she wanted for her lesson in color, I would print for her. So I'm going to meet her and get her pages that she needs printed so that I can print them for her. Yeah, so I'm doing that today too. But cleaning and organizing my kitchen is a big one. And then, and then everybody's favorite, paying bills. Don't we all love bill paying day? We love bill paying day. I'm not going to do the tape right now. I mean, I showed you guys what I usually do to these glue spots. The other thing you could do is you could cover it with a piece of junk paper. But I don't want to make it too thick. I will say this. I tried a similar version of these at one time with some decorative envelopes that I had, but I was so paranoid about things going in and out of the envelope and everything that I covered them with heavy cardstock, front, back, flaps, and when I went to try and fold them, they were a mess, guys. They were an absolute mess. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Let's fold this one. This envelope was a little thicker itself, so this might be one of those ones actually where if I was going to do something to those inside pages in here, I don't know that I would add more paper just because this is already kind of thick. I would probably like ink this or something so that I'm not adding more bulk to this booklet. This paper that I'm using, I love this paper. It's got like a buttery feel to it, and it's on my... I've made myself 2 lists on my Amazon, my wish list, and then my supplies list. And I stuck this paper on my supplies list. It's the paper I'm going to start using to print stuff on journal pages. It's a heavyweight paper. I want to say it was... Nope, I'm not even going to guess. I'd have to go up and look at the package. I don't remember what the weight on it is. But it's not copy paper. And it's got this smooth, buttery feel to it. And it prints, I mean, the images print on it. Gorgeous. I must have gotten glue all over this. It feels like I got glue all over it. So if I figure out what paper it is, I'll try and let you guys know in the next video. Maybe I'll bring it, show it, so you can see it. All right, I like this kind of quilty pattern. Normally I plug the people I get the papers from. I got both of these from my friend at, well, not my friend, I don't know her personally, but I love her art. She is Raven Printable Designs. Yeah, this is some of her stuff. The other stuff is Tina's, and this, I believe, is this that we're going to use is, I want to say it came from, she calls herself on Etsy Sapphire Dreamscapes, I think, this is one of hers. So just to go through and let you know who all I got my beautiful papers from. All right. Yeah, but you should go over and check them out. They both do really, really cool work. And for all you artsy types who like to do those collage-y art journal type things, Raven Printable Designs has a lot of art that looks like that. I mean, she does a lot of really cool stuff. It's like off the wall and different, and I love it. Okay. For this, I'm not really worried about which side I put down because it's all kind of a quilty hodgepodge, sort of. Not in a bad way. Okay. So, I will say this, I've noticed that the one thing, I know a lot of these digital art creators, people who create these digital art things on Etsy for you to buy, they use AI now to create stuff. I have two issues with AI. One, when it's doing people, it sometimes adds way too many toes or fingers. And so, and I don't know if, it's possible to fix that. Like after you've had an image created and you notice it's got, 7 fingers instead of 5. I don't know if it's possible to fix that. Like if you have a digital art program. I'm not a digital artist. But that's one of the things that bugs me about digital art is it never seems to get that right. It'll do it to animals too. I've seen, bear cub paws that have 8 toes or 7 toes or, whatever. Yeah. So AI hasn't quite figured out how many toes we have or fingers. The other thing I don't like about it is people do use AI to do like things with words. And on some of the stuff where the handwriting is illegible, it's like supposed to be real old script and you can't really read it anyway. I don't mind it. But there are a lot of them that come up. I don't think that's the right color. Where's that gold one? Would this work? I think that would work. There are a lot of them that come up. The writing on it is like just letters thrown together willy-nilly to make it look like there's a word there. Like they'll do a bake shop or a candy shop or, something like that. Some sort of art centered around candy and it's got a candy shop in it. And the shop will say, it will have gibberish written on the sign. And again, I don't know if it's possible, but nothing is done to fix that. So like anything that they make that has words on it, I tend to not use unless I can, unless I'm going to decorate it so that it doesn't, so that you can't see it, the words or whatever, or if I'm going to put something over that, or like when I'm using the piece. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that when it comes to AI art. But a lot of the AI art that comes out is really gorgeous. So just all depends on what's in it. I will say this, a lot of the faces look the same. Like, it's almost like AI has like 4 or 5 generic faces for every race, creed, or color in the human population, and it uses those same faces for all the time. Does that make sense? Is that not making any sense? Probably not making any sense. But yeah, it just seems like it's very. I feel like it's still very limited, but it's still very not. There are times when you look at it and it's like, wow, that's really cool. Anyway, I'm just babbling. Okay, let's see what we got left. I've got this one, which I really like. I think I'm going to put it on there like that. Oh, wait. This might be one of those ones I do. I want to get some of the big flowers. Although I will say it makes me wonder if I shouldn't like cut some of the big flowers out and use them. But I feel like the opportunity to get different blue flowers would be good here. Like use it as a background and then decorate. If I was going to decorate with blue flowers, decorate with different blue flowers. Does that make sense? No? Yeah. It's okay. Doesn't surprise me that it doesn't make sense. All right. Oh, shoot. There we go. I hope pulling it off of there and sticking it back down, it still sticks. I feel like you have a little more wait time with Fabri-Tac. So hopefully that's nice and stuck. And then I'm going to have to cut along the fold again. Let's cut here first. So my list today: bill paying, kitchen organizing. I'm trying. See, the problem is every time I get into one of these big kitchen clutter, it happens a lot after I go to a big box store. So last week I went to Costco, right? But when I come home, I have to figure out where to put everything. And so a lot of times after I go to a big box store, depending on what I bought and how the space in my kitchen is, it inspires me to go through and say, okay, we need to empty these cabinets. And I end up finding things that, we bought that we thought we were going to like, that we didn't like, that are expired, that, So, and that's what's going on now is as I'm going through the kitchen and putting stuff away and cleaning stuff up, I'm also pulling stuff out and either putting it in a donation box, obviously not food, but I don't have any place to donate. I would love to have like a, I don't know, I have to look into the closest food pantry. We don't have one here in town where I am, but the next town over might have one. All right, I might have to hold off on that one for just a minute while we figure this one out. Let's figure this one out. Maybe we'll put this one on this big envelope. Oh, I'd really like to have those roses. I don't want to cover them up. Okay. I wonder if this would work. It's not big enough. Well, it's not big enough. And I actually think it would look good with it. Darn it. I don't want to do that with it. I liked the green. I'm a little upset. All right, I need something to cover this one. Let's cut it out while I think. The question is whether or not I want to open up the pad and pull another piece of that out. And the answer is probably no. I could also go into my scrap box right here and see if there's anything big enough scrap-wise that I could use. So what I'm going to do is, you guys have got this idea, right? We're good on the idea of how this works. I'm going to take this stack of envelopes. I'm going to put it over here with my scraps because I'm still going to make some more of these. I think these are great. This one I'm probably not going to... I want to look for one thing in my scrap box. Okay, well, I couldn't find it. I apparently got cut down and the only pieces I could find of it were tiny. But you get the idea. So these would be what you would be making. The time-consuming part, of course, is covering everything. So this would fold like this. And I still have to put a piece of paper on the flap. Or not. I mean, this is kind of a cream colored envelope. I could always ink this or stencil on it or, you know, something like that. It doesn't have to be covered with paper. Although if you could find a coordinating paper, I like the paper idea. My go-to. Again, gets bulky there in the middle. Okay, so let's look at one of these and see about maybe decorating. I don't know what I'm decorating with, so let me see if anything catches my eye. I kind of created one of those little collages on here. Maybe. Oh, no. You know where I should do that? On here. Yeah. Okay. That makes much more sense. Okay. If I was going to do one on this side, there's less burgundy. See, there's a burgundy and reds a lot in here. And on this side, there's more greens and blues. So on this side, if I was going to do one of these, I would probably do blues and greens. So we're going to do this on here. And I'm going to need, you know what I'm going to need, right, guys? Well, I'm going to maybe do one of those. Might do one of these. Let's cut one of these off of here. I might use one of these. And then also a button. It's a little sewing machine. Is that not funny? I kind of want something bigger. No. I might have to open up my bead box. I mean my button box. Oh, I kind of like the wood, but I need bigger. Okay, hold on. Okay. I try not to torture you with my bead box anymore. Alright. I don't know. I mean, this one isn't the flower isn't a guarantee. But I'm thinking, like, look at that. Is that not cute? I love that. Okay, and then I even brought some, like, little burgundy buttons over here to maybe... Okay, I'm going to glue this stuff down, and then I haven't decided about the burgundy button. Oh, you know what I didn't try, though? I'll try it. After I get the lace and stuff glued down, we'll try it. Is that without the blue flower, just the burgundy and the wood. I just wanted the flower kind of as a pop of color that went with the rest of the... I want the raggedy edge. Okay. And then, should I hot glue this? Also, I will say this, something I thought about yesterday when I was doing all of this. When you're hot gluing fabric down, make sure you've decided on all your extra little embellishments first, like anything that you might want to tuck under the fabric, because once you get that, see, I like both. Because once you get that fabric down, it's really hard to stick anything under there. So if you wanted to put a label or something in here mixed in with the design, then it would be difficult. I think what I'm having trouble with is the fact that this is so clean. How about that? Does that work better? Yes. Okay. That's what we're doing. Just needed to put some ink on it. Some fake dirt. It needed fake dirt. Okay, so we'll put this down on here. And then we'll put this down, and then we'll call this one done, and I'll let you guys go. Oh, great. Yeah. Strings of glue everywhere. Okay. All right, there you go. And then you have this little booklet that you can do whatever. You can put pages in there. You can put pockets in there. You can put pages and pockets in there. You can turn this into journaling space. I mean, yeah, it's just a little envelope booklet with a pocket on the outside. And I think these are awesome. They also have a pocket on the back there. So you could also use these as wraparounds. So if this was my page, I could use it as a wraparound. The other thing you can do, because we did not glue our envelope shut, is if you wanted to, you could cut this open and have a side pocket and a tuck. So, you know, there's lots of options. These are really versatile. Love these. So give these a shot. Pull out your envelopes. I do think it works best with the slanted angled things. That's what I was going to tell you. When I was in, I knew it would come back to me. When I was in Hobby Lobby, Paper Studios envelopes are all straight across. And I'm pretty sure Recollections are too, and Michael's. For the bigger envelopes. So I guess I'd have to go online to order envelopes with a V, with a triangle flap. But anyway, give them a shot, guys. They're a lot of fun. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow with day 63. Bye-bye.